the unemployment rate is going to be much higher later on. So we started the crisis with about 3 to 4% unemployment rate. The forecast is that it's going to be, depends on what the exit strategy out of the crisis, but estimations are that it's going to be more than 10%. So until probably a few days ago, we had a very strict lockdown. Even though the overall industry was actually allowed to go to work, especially what we call the crucial industry. So for instance, as our cement industry and construction industry and food industry, of course, all is considered crucial. So we were allowed to work 100%. Some of the other industries like high-tech industry and the others were allowed to work between 15% to 30% of the workforce. Of course, first of all, there's a demand over here. It's mandatory. So we separated to 3 shifts. There's in one room or place, there has to be a limited number of employees. Depends again on the size of the space, but there's the demand over here that there will be at least a separation of 2 meters between each employee. We close all the common places like coffee, dining places, etc. And everybody has to go with a mask in public places on their face. Sanitizers, eco gels everywhere. That's a demand, and we have to measure temperature of each employee that is coming in, and he has to declare that he didn't have a fever. So there's 2 folds to this. On one side, the Israeli government is pushing a lot of infrastructure work to continue, and even pushing for new construction in terms of infrastructure. On the other side, as I said, some of the construction sites have stopped working because of lack of workforce. Overall, we see between 25% to 35% reduction in terms of demand. Same goes to Israel. Everybody understands that right now, that in a time of crisis, you can rely on only on local production, not on import. I think it's going to affect not just the cement industry; it's going to affect the other industries as well. I see the commissioner over here issued a recommendation to the government to levy a much higher levy on the import from Turkey and Greece, and so that's going to affect also probably the local production of the cement industry, assuming that there will be a levy, and because of the COVID-19, everybody understands that the local production is much more important than previously what was in the, let's say, mindset of the government, at least. The Israeli government is pushing very strong to open the construction industry, to open more, as I said, the infrastructure projects. So we think that demand is going to be back. It's going to be back probably pretty strong in, let's say, by June or July. We estimate that it's going to be back to probably about 80-85% of what we had before the crisis started. Yeah, we hope and forecast that 2021 is going to be much stronger than 2020.